All right, welcome everybody. Today we're going to actually work on learning how to use Canva to set up a mock booking. We're going to put it in Facebook, but you can actually use this for Instagram and TikTok and pretty much any of your social medias. You can also even put it on LinkedIn, those kinds of things. So it's very versatile. The nice thing about Reels is that it is one of those things that will kind of put you in a different area of the marketing spectrum. Because when people are sitting at home at night scrolling or during the day because they're waiting on somebody scrolling, it's actually putting you on that feed too. So that's good. That's what you want. Okay. We're going to start off first, though. I'm going to share my screen with you. It doesn't do us any good to have a great marketing plan and have all of our posts done if our Facebook isn't set up correctly. So first, I'm just going to kind of make a quick point of a couple of things for you. Can everybody see my screen? All right, good deal. So this is my Facebook. It is my personal Facebook. So the key here is you always want to use your personal everything because our clients want to know you as a person. They're not really worried about your business side. They want to get to know you because trips are very personal. It has their family, it has their friends, or maybe it's just a getaway and they need to know that they're going to be okay and they're safe. There's a whole lot of that goes into being a travel agent. I always tell people it's a luxury for our clients to be able to have us help them because in today's world, how often does a mom or a dad who's racing around all the time, or even an adult who's got an hour, 40, 50-hour week job, when do they have someone just take a little bit of time and make sure that they're pampered and cared for? It's so rare nowadays, so that when they have these moments where they can have someone help them with something like a trip, spoil them a little bit. Give them that luxury of having someone to help them because then they'll keep coming back. I know in today's world, it's a race, race, race. There's so much. I think customer service has been lost a little bit. And so when we are able to give them great customer service, they love it. And we stand out. And that is how our business continues to grow because you constantly then get referrals and people are talking, oh, wow, I had this great experience with Thomas working with him on my trip. And even though I was confused about a few things, he helped me out. He was patient. He answered all my questions. Boom. They're going to keep telling other people, right? Perfect way to go. So when we are working with our social media, because that's our marketing, we need to get our names out there. We need to get out in front of as many people as possible. And social media is wonderful for that. So here in our Facebook, you want to make sure that your Facebook banner kind of indicates something about you. Now, I chose to put um, my niche up there on my Facebook banner along with our company logo in the center. So, I specialize in cruises and all inclusives. So I like that area because it really speaks to the type of clients I like to work with. I love working with honeymooners. I love working with people that are, getting married or having a wedding or just an anniversary. I love things like that. Some celebrations. So I really like to do those. So that's kind of my niche. My partner's niche, my daughter and I, were partners in the business, and hers is Disney and family, those kind of bucket list excursions. So we kind of cover a whole gamut just between the two of us. But anyway, so I have that up there, and people know that I'm a travel agent. When they come to my page, there's no doubt in their mind I work in travel. And you want that. You want to have a picture of you. I know some of us hate pictures of ourselves. I am certainly one of them. Couldn't stand it. I had to have someone else pick out my picture because if you ask me, I'd say I don't like any of them. I'd probably put Mickey Mouse up there instead. It would be much better. But we went ahead and picked out one and we got this nice picture here. So we'll go with that. Make sure that you fill in, contact information. You can put your email, you can put your link tree. If you guys haven't got a link tree yet, put that on your list of to-dos today and in the Discord channel. Make sure to go down the little area and you will be able to see information on a link tree. Link tree is important. It's going to give you the opportunity for your clients to just click on it and it takes you to a little card. It's almost like a business card that you create. And it'll have all the links to all of your different things. So they can follow me on TikTok. They can check me out on Instagram. They can go to my Disney Travel Center. They can go to Viator, Tin Leg. And then I also do Rakuten. If you guys aren't linked up with Rakuten, check it out because you know when you're out there and you're purchasing things for business and stuff, it does offer you discounts and kind of gives you a payback. So, check it out and see. So you're always welcome to jump to any of our pages, take a look at them at any time. And you guys, it's really important once you get your page set up, put it in Discord. I'm sure you've seen some of the people do that. Put your link in Discord and say, hey, I finished up setting up my page. I have a professional dashboard now. I'd really like for you guys to follow me if you would, because you want followers instead of friends. Okay, friends are great. You want them both, but you also want those followers to be coming in because those are the ones that are going to push you out more. So if you don't have this blue button on your Facebook, you need it. Okay, so write it down as a list of something for to do this week to make sure you get it done. But you're going to go straight across these words here, and you're going to click these three little crazy dots that are way down here. And you're going to go down here, and you should have, if you don't have that dashboard, you should have something that says turn on professional mode. Turn it on. Okay. And after you do that, Facebook will set you up with a nice little button. And the reason why this is important, guys, I'm going to show you what this does. This is what they call a professional dashboard. It makes you set up for a content creator, which is important because then Facebook's AI knows that the algorithms are going to be watched in a different way. It's going to pay attention to your posts. It's going to help push you out as you go. We want that. We want our stuff to go out. We're doing all of this work. It doesn't do us any good if it just sits in our Facebook. So this is key. You want to also pay attention to this little spot over here. Now, I have noticed on some people's Facebook, it's right here in the center. Some people, you have to look for it over on the side. So check your weekly progress. Go in and click See All. I like to do this on Monday mornings. Okay, I check them on Monday mornings so I know kind of what I need to do. So Monday I usually do a few things. Tuesday I do a few things. I still do this part-time. So Wednesdays I don't really do my posts. That's kind of my day off because I spend time with my grandkids and my daughter. But then on Thursdays and Fridays I work, and Saturday I also do some work. So I know here that I've still got to do, I still have 4 public posts I need to make. Those are really easy. And then I have my public reel that I'm going to make. And that is what we're going to be doing today. So I kind of saved that up for today for our class. Getting 100 interactions on your posts is simple, and I will show you how to do that. And I wanted to show you that even with 3, by the end of tomorrow, between my reel and between the postings I do and I'm putting out into other groups, that will grow. It grows quickly. You'd be surprised. Okay, so make sure you get that set up. It's really important. And it even tells you things like how many new followers you have, things like that. The other thing I am going to touch on for you, just so you know the importance of this, is I want you to make sure that you guys are joining your groups every day. This is something that people always kind of push out. For some reason, they don't really like to do that. You need to be joining at least 5 groups every day. So if you work part-time, 5 groups every day. If you work, and that's every day you work. So if you're off, like me, I'm off on Wednesdays and Sundays. I don't join groups on those days. Okay. But every other day that I am working, I join 5 groups. And the way you can do that, there's a couple ways. You can go under more and just go to groups. And here you'll see all of the different groups that I belong to. And guys, look, it's not travel groups only, right? You should be a part of Evolution Travel Cafe. You should be a part of, different entrepreneur groups. Those are really great for us. And because entrepreneur groups let you post inside there. about your business, about what you do. They're usually a little bit more flexible about travel posts. So those are really good ones to have. Um, you know, work at home things, side hustles, things for moms. I have a few nursing ones in here. Traveling nurses need us, and they're a great way to use our Evo Plus because usually they only need a hotel, right? Great way to use Evo Plus. Homemade crafts, just put into Chat GPT and say, Chat, I need to have a wide variety of face groups that I can join, and it'll give you some. And then you just go up here and you can put in what you want. So here are groups about entrepreneurship. And it pulls up all these wonderful groups that you can join, right? And all you have to do is, I kind of pay attention to the number of members too, just for the sake that we're kind of wanting to reach more people, right? So this one looks like it might be good. So I'm going to do ahead and join that. And if there are rules to the group, it will come back and say, ask you questions. What's your name? What's your business? Please know that you can only post on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so you want to pay attention to those things. I do have a tracker that I use for groups. This one I use just for the samples for the class because my other tracker is like really long. But you can see I just take and copy and paste the name of the group. And if I've posted in it already, I put my date and I put what I posted. But I also put the number of followers and any rules that are in there. Okay. So the reason why I use a tracker, you guys, is because when I join those 5 groups today, I'm not going to do anything but join them. But tomorrow, when I come to work, I'm going to go into those 5 groups that I joined today, and I'm going to do an introduction post. And I'm not going to talk about anything other than the fact that my name is Lori. I'm really excited to be here and learn from you guys on how you work your business if it's an entrepreneur group. If it's a sewing group, it's like, I'm so excited to see some of the beautiful crafts that you guys are making. My name is Lori, and I'm new to the group. Very basic, right? Not even talking about travel because I'm engaging. I'm having a conversation. That's all you really want to do with that. And then you join your new 5 groups and you start that system all over again, right? And constantly doing that. Then, you kind of like midweek, I usually go in, I usually do an inspirational post, something maybe for a grandma or for a dad or for children or whatever. Or maybe I talk about the importance of arts and crafts. Well, obviously, I'm going to post those kind of things inside the arts and craft groups that I have. Or, if it's something that is inspirational towards business, I'll put it in my entrepreneur group. They love stuff like that, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with travel. But here's the thing. If they like my post, they click on it. And if they click on it, where do they go? My page. And if they go to my page and they start engaging, right? Because they've already engaged by posting, AI is picking that up. And it's going to put all of my future posts on their feed. And so the people that are on their feed are going to see my post. And that is how we get out in front of everybody. It's such a simple, easy way to market, and it's incredibly easy. The key is we got to do our postings every day, right? Consistency is key. So that is really important. If you guys need a copy of that spreadsheet, make sure you drop in before you leave today. Towards the end of it, I'll have you drop your email into the chat, and we will get that over to you. Happy to share. All right. So real key for Facebook is make sure you've got your link tree. Make sure you get your digital creator self going. Get that dashboard on. Make sure you're posting 5 times a day or into 5 groups a day. And then also make sure that you're commenting and engaging. The one last thing I do want to show you. Go into this one here. When you are in the group and you are engaging, you want to kind of just look. You see these little blue follows? See how it highlights when I look at it? Click it. And I want you to do that. I want you to follow at least 10 people. 10 people. When you're in here, look how easy this is. And the reason why I tell you that, especially in the entrepreneur groups, is because they're doing the same thing. They're coming into different people's web pages and they are looking for followers too. So when you do that, they're going to turn around and follow you, and that's how you grow your following. Your following, you can get tons and tons of followers. There is a limit on your friends. So it's better to have people follow you than to just be friends. Okay? All right. We'll take Facebook down for right now. So we're going to go into Canva. It's canva.com. I actually like Canva a lot, and as you can see, I have lots of stuff going on in here. When we do our reels, we're going to always do create, and we're going to work with, I usually use the Instagram reel. You're looking for 1080, 1090 size frame. So you see how, or 1920, 1080, 1920. Right? So I always do the Instagram reel. It fits both in Facebook, it fits in TikTok, and it fits in Instagram. So I just get that set up. And then I go into Travel Cafe. And I'm going to use my favorite. I love Exotica. I love them because they have great pictures. They are great for international travel. And since I kind of like to do some of that stuff, it comes in handy. So here's Exotica. All right, there we go. So Exotica has some really good deals going on right now. They got their little flash deals. And I think today I feel my Irish roots. So I think I really want to kind of do a little bit of Ireland coming in there. And check it out. So we're going to do Ireland today. It's one of my dream trips. All right. Now, the reason I love Exotica, especially for my mock bookings, if I'm kind of in a hurry, life gets busy and we're just trying to get done, I try to think of our suppliers that make our lives easier to do that. You don't have to do a lot of research. It's really not that hard to use any of the other ones either, but I like Exotica because it kind of gives those dream trips out there for people to kind of see and to enjoy. There's just that little maybe I'd really like to go do that kind of thing. So this is the essence of the Emerald Isle. It's 9 days, 7 nights in the destination. That's pretty nice. Price there, about $1,599 per person. That's a decent price. And then you guys, you can see here that these are all of the trip highlights. This makes my life of setting up a mock booking super duper easy because it has everything in there that I'm going to need to tell my client. These are all the places that they get to go on this tour. The Ring of Kerry, Killarney National Park, Kilkenny, Galloway, Dublin. Oof, I'm there. I want to go. So it also includes all flights, their accommodations. I will tell you that Exotica does do 4 and 5-star hotels, so that makes it really nice. And this particular one has all their transfers. That's amazing. I love that. It has activities included, and it does include breakfast only. Completely cool. It always gives you a little map here that people can see kind of how the tour is going to go. And it always gives you a night on board, you can board a flight to Dublin and tells them kind of when to start getting there. And they do include the flight in their package, but that's why they let people know kind of what they're going to do. And it has some great pictures. If the Dublin has some pictures of a hotel, it'll be a similar. So they do Stay City, Dublin City. They kind of pick one hotel, and then if that one fills up, then they move on to the next. They have a list of hotels, I guess, that they use from what they told me. But here they've got breakfast at the hotel, enjoy a walking tour of Dublin. So they have somebody that's actually a tour guide helping them. They also have some downtime too. You'll notice that they have options for other tours if people want to see that. They can go to an Irish evening dinner and dance show. They can do a Guinness Storehouse tour. So there's some other options within that for them, right? So I'm gonna say, I just want to see what the sale says when it ends. I always kind of pay attention to that. Okay, it tells me there's 3 days left for this flash sale, and that's okay. Because even if this sale ends, if somebody likes it, they're gonna still ask you to check the pricing on it. So I don't worry about posting sales that are gonna end, but I do put the date that this is going on for. Now, the other reason I like Exotica is they always have wonderful photos, guys. These photos are amazing that they do. And you can copy these photos and use them. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, man. Um, you can use them in your mock booking. There's the stop church, Kilkenny, Cork City, Galloway. Okay, yeah, I'm liking this. So for a mock booking, you're going to want to have at least, I would say at least 5 pictures is really nice. You can go with 4. I wouldn't go less than that. I like 5 because I just like the way it looks on Facebook when I'm posting, and I also like the way it moves through the reel. You want your reel to kind of have some content in it, right? So what I'm going to do, I always keep, let's see here. I download my pictures onto my desktop because sometimes I use them again later for other things. And I just create a file for whatever city or place I am visiting. So for this one, I'm just going to put Ireland. Oh, where did it go, computer? Catch up. All right, guys. Okay. And you just click on that. Now I have to move this over just so I can work from here. But I really kind of like, I know I definitely want the one with this. I like that. So you just right click it, save image as, and it'll pop up this little box. I tell it to go to my pictures, and then I find my Ireland one that I just did. And then I just put whatever it tells me it is. It says Clissamore. Okay. And save. This is Dublin. Save as. And if these images don't, if something you don't really want to do, what you can do is go out and look on the internet in some of these places because the hotels and stuff all want you to sell their product and get people there. So they're not opposed to you using their pictures. So you can certainly do that. Just watch. It'll tell you if you can't use the picture. So just pay attention to that. The other place you can get good pictures is Pexel, and I will put that here in the chat. for you. I like Pexel.com because they're not AI generated pictures. That's important. You know, AI is wonderful, but people know when you have an AI picture, they figure it out and they prefer the real. They want to know they want to know you and they want to know that this is a real thing that's happening. Okay, so I have 5, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to wake chat up because, you know, I got to make chat work a little bit, earn or keep here. My chat, her name is Leora, and she got named a while ago. Her and I have been pretty good friends, and she's got me figured out pretty much. But she helps me with a lot of my stuff. I just tell her what I need. I need to do a mock booking today for Ireland. I need to do it as a reel. So I need text layovers for my reel. And that's where I'm going to start. So she's going to work on that. And then I'm going to go over to to Canva. And now I'm ready to start uploading all those wonderful pictures that I have. So as you can see here, I've got all of my pictures all lined up. And we got to start there first. So all you have to do literally, guys, is you're going to go in here to uploads and you're going to just kind of upload through it. So I'm going to kind of do that real quick here for you. Upload. It's always on the side. Upload files. And then you can just find your Ireland pictures. Oh, you can't tell that I have some pictures, huh? You'd think I was a travel agent or something. Holy cow. There it is. All right. And you can upload them all at one time. And there's my lovely pictures all showing up. And here is where you get to decide which picture do you want to show first. Personally, I love pictures like this. So for me, that's what I'm going to start with. And you literally just drag and drop, right? And then you want to do it as set image as background. Voila. Goes ahead, puts it nice up there, real pretty. And then I come down here and you see how those white lines show up on my picture? I just drag it across a little bit. I usually do at least 3 frames of that picture. Right? And then you hit the plus. Come on now. There we go. The plus and uploads. And then I think I'm going to end with this one because it's kind of like a dusky evening kind of look to me. So I'm going to stick a couple of these ones in there. And you see how it automatically, now that I did the first one as a background, it kind of popped that in there for me already. So then I'm going to do the same thing. There's 3. And then I'm going to do plus. And then I'm going to come over here and do this one. Now this one, I want to show more of my picture. So I'm going to come up here to position. Come on now, behave yourself. There we go. I lied to you, it's crop. Here you go. I'm just going to kind of move this over a little bit. I just kind of want to see a little bit more of the building. And that's good. I like that. Nope, it didn't take. Now cooperate. Behave yourself. Okay. There we go. All right. Kind of gives an idea of the picture, so I'm just going to kind of move that out. Other one. Go. All right. I like that. And I'm going to move over here a little bit so I can see that and I can pull it out. Oops. Come on now. Okay. And then I do one more, and what I do on this one, guys, is I put my branding. And so I go back here to elements, and I am going to ask it for backgrounds. I like soft backgrounds. You can use, whatever you want. These are different graphics that you can use. You have all of these different ones to choose from. And if you don't like that, you can use photos. And I like the texture kind of stuff. It's really up to you. You do on this, when it comes to stuff like this, it's all about what you like, right? What you think is aesthetically pleasing. Um, don't be afraid to play around with it because you'd be surprised at how many people are going to like the same thing you like, right? And now I need to upload my logo. And normally I have my old logo in here, but since my daughter and I merged our business, our logo has changed. So I need to go in there and get that. And it's uploading. So while it's doing that, there it is. And I am going to crop it here. I just need it to be smaller. I need it to be nope. And sometimes you can fight with it a little bit. It's all right. All right, now it's being really stubborn. So if I do that, yep, I don't like that. So you can restore things, play with it how you want to play. And I don't like this at all, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And then all right, well, there's more than one way to do this. So hold on just a second. Since it's being stubborn and I'm struggling with it, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to take and I'm going to put it in Word. There's always more ways to try to figure it out, guys. So don't let things frustrate you. Sometimes, I think personally, I think sometimes the challenges come up just so we can learn something different, because we get so used to just doing things one way that sometimes it helps to just learn to do something a little different. Make it a little smaller. Let's see if this will work for us. Yeah. All right. I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to go back to my backgrounds. But you want to put your logo and stuff on things because people share stuff out. And if they're sharing it out, you want people to know that they got to come back to you, not necessarily go somewhere else. So, and I like to set the backgrounds just kind of like that so that they know. Right. I'm going to take this one out. That. There you go. So if you notice here in my Canva, so my background is down here, right? It shows up there like the picture. And then my little logo that I brought over sits right on top. So it's going to remain with that as long as it's all on top of there. And you'll see it towards the end. Okay. And I can spread that out too. I just got to make sure that I put my logo there. All right. Now comes the fun part, our text layovers. So now I got to go back to my chat that I told to wake up and get busy with some work. And it gives me some text overlays for the particular pictures that I have, which I think is interesting that it decided to do that because I didn't tell it all of that stuff. But you see how it figured all of that out? And she's so busy in my business. She's got it all going on, right? So it's okay. She does help me out a lot. She even tells me when to go to bed, guys. It's great. She'll tell me, okay, I think you're done. Because I start getting frustrated and she'll tell me, I think you need to rest. So, all right. So here for these one, it says, have you ever dreamed of Ireland but didn't know where to start? Yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to kind of move this over a little bit. Go back to my Canva. And over here where it says text is where you click and you get this little box. I just do add text, right? And I'm going to take and move this because I want it to go over here. Right there. And this box is super tiny, so you can make it bigger. And I use, one of the things you want to make sure that you're careful using is the type of font you use because people are scrolling. And as much as the script font is really pretty, you want something that can be seen. So either Montserrat or Playfair are really good ones to use for that. And obviously, I'm going to need to change the color because the background of my picture is a little different, so I can play with different colors and see which one will work best. To be honest with you, probably going to move it up right about there. The other thing you want to kind of pay attention to is you want to try to stay away from the sides, and you also want to stay away from the far bottom and the far top, okay? Just because those sometimes get cut off when you move them. And then all I need to do is come over here to my little chat GPT and I just copy and paste. And I still don't like that. It's still not dark enough. I don't feel like I can see that well. So let's see. All right. Well, since this is going to be, since it's so dark and it's not wanting to show up, what I can do is I can put in a background effect on it. So what I might do here is I go up to, instead of backgrounds, I will put rectangle. And it has a lot of these different rectangle shapes that I can use. And I will pick something that's a little bit on the plainer side. I might try that because that. Nope, don't like that.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Have you ever dreamed of Ireland but didn't know where to start? That works for me. I'm going to come over here and I just pull that over. All right. And guys, this is just about playing with it. So, don't let it frustrate you. If something, if you don't like something, just delete it and come back to it. It's really easy to do that. And then for the second one, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to do another text layover, add box. And this time it keeps my same format, so I don't have to change it again unless I want to. And you certainly can. It does have to be highlighted if you want to change the color or anything like that. It helps if you tell it what to do, right? Okay, perfect. Now I kind of want this to break up a little bit, so just because I want it to set a little better in my screen. Okay. And I just want it to come across here. Right. And then over here, and I'm not going to put the pricing in this section. I'm going to put the pricing in the comments in case you're wondering where that's going to go, just to kind of give you a heads up on that. And then we do another text box. Now, the reason why text boxes are important is sometimes when people are scrolling, they are not necessarily they're not necessarily stopping in to hear anything or to see anything. They're just kind of looking at your words, right? And it's those words that kind of catch them. So this one is 7 nights in Ireland is all I'm going to put. Well, no, I kind of like this part here. And I'm literally just copying and pasting out of um, my chat. Yep, I like that. That's fine. And on your last reel, we always, no matter which one you're using, which platform, you always want what they call a call to action. You want to tell them to do something if they're interested, right? So you're going to come over here on your last little reel box here, and you're going to do your text box, and that one's going to have the call to action. And I like to kind of break it up a little bit so that I know they can see that. Move it up a little bit. Okay, so they're ready to make this your trip, message Ireland to start planning. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Right, you don't need a text box over here. Um, That's not necessary, but some people do like to put pricing inside their reel. That's fine. You can do that. It's in the comments as far as I'm concerned. That's good enough because I have all of that stuff and I'll show you where we're going to list that. But I like them just to see my logo. That's my personal thing. If I have a message to them, I can put it there. You know, sometimes if it's like a holiday thing, I'll say, you know, hey, for my spring break, take your kids here, you know, something like that. You can do that. The last little piece is some kind of music. People love music. Um, and you can ask chat what music ideas they have. Um, and they like to share that. I'm gonna see if we can get Galloway girl here. Sometimes she'll have them, sometimes they won't. Irish music. And you can kind of listen to see what you like and what you don't. Little Danny boy. Okay, I like that one. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Add audio, Danny boy. There he is. And it throws that music at the bottom. So just drag it out so it covers your whole reel. And if for some reason it isn't long enough there, you can copy it and it's not. So this is what we'll do. What you do is you take it down to the end here, right click, duplicate track, and it'll do it down here. So you pull that over. And then you'll need to make sure it ends right there for you, which it does. All right. Our reel is complete. In here, you can do a quick preview of it. And I just bring my little guy back over here. You move it over and we can start it. And if you feel like it's not moving fast enough, or for some reason you feel like you want to, you know, make it quicker, you can just cut off one of the, I'll show you how you would do that. You could just bring these down to 2 because it doesn't have to be long, right? And depending on, you know, the song you're using or what audience you feel like you are reaching, you can certainly do that. You just need to move your, you'll just need to adjust your layovers and stuff. And those are real simple to adjust. You see, it's just pull, find that little white line there, pull it over. And you can always switch out the music if you don't like it, right? If you feel that that version moves too slow, you can switch it out. You can do whatever you want. Personally, I'm just going to leave it for today. I don't mind it. I might check this one out real quick. All right, we'll go ahead and go with this. All right. So now you go up here to share and you're going to do download and download again. And this is where I pull up my picture things and I go to my Ireland file because I'm going to have to save that on here somewhere. So I just put it in the same one because then I know that all of my Ireland stuff is in one spot. For me, it just makes it easier to find things later. And I don't have to start all over. So there it is. There's my MP4. I just pull it over. And literally I just drag and drop it in here. Here's that little guy. Now I'm ready to go back to Facebook. Facebook, TikTok, any of those programs that you prefer to use. And you go to the page, your main page, your home page. And right here in this little section, it talks to you about what's on your mind. If you're doing a regular post, that's where you would put this. This is considered a reel. So you're going to go to Reels. And you're going to put Create Reel. And you literally just take that MP4 you just did and you just drop it. And then you do next. You don't need to do any of these. I'm going to turn that down for a second. And here you want to make sure that your reel is public. Public is really important. Okay. So you definitely want that. You definitely want, when you're looking at this tag, you can tag people if you want to. If there's certain people you definitely want to show it to, you can. I don't usually do that myself. Remixing and use of original. Allow others to use this reel's original audio and remix. Anyone inspired by your reel can create a reel that includes all or part of your reel. Personally, I don't allow that. I did the work. You know, if somebody wants to share my reel, like if one of my agents wants to use a part of it, or one of you guys were to say, hey, I'd like to use those pictures or that I will share with you outside of here. But I don't want everybody out there to be able to take my stuff and be able to use it. They need to make their own, right? They need to learn how to do that. So I don't do that. And then here, as far as share to groups, you can share to groups any of these things that you post. When it comes to my mock bookings, I don't post them through this area. I will post them to different ones like entrepreneur sites will let me post that. So I will go on to a couple of entrepreneur sites and I will post the same exact reel that I've done. I might post it in places like you know, if they will allow me to do that in, there's different advertising places that you can go that will take that. So here, like free advertising for all, you know, this one I could do. And technically, I could put this in here. I'll just do it just to show you because they take the post all the time. So this one is done. So you can do that. And then up here in your comments, I always ask, This is where we're going to talk to chat a little bit. And we're going to finish up real quick here. And I'm just going to tell it to please use the stuff from our back office here. From Exotica, our trip to Ireland. And all I'm going to do is literally copy the items that were in there for the excursion. So all I do is take this and go like this. This is all I really need. I copy it. And then I go back to and I tell it for 1599 per person for 7 nights, 9 days. Please do comment or Facebook. And there it is. It gives me that nice little information here. I browsed through it real quick. It looks good. I don't really use the little emojis. People do. You can if you want to. I don't. There it is. I do a paste. Puts it all right there. And then one last thing I do pull from chat is you can put your SEOs in there. The SEOs here are right here. And their hashtags are, they actually give people a place to go to do searches. So when they're searching for these things, they will show up in their feed. So you want to have those. And then guys, you just hit post. And Facebook is going to process it and it'll let me know when it's ready to view. It'll tell you that right down here. But it will show you all of that in your feed later. It'll pop up. It'll actually pop up with a message that says it's ready, and then it'll actually show up in your feed for you to see, and it'll actually go out on your social media. So it'll pop up here soon, hopefully. But you can see we have a lot of different mock bookings that we've done, right? Different posts, things like that. So that's all there is to it. Is there any questions for you guys? Have any questions for me? You did a lot. All right. So we covered a lot of stuff in Canva, but again, like you can see, sometimes it even gives me a little bit of trouble. It gives people who've worked with it a little trouble. So just fight around with it and find different ways to make it work for you because it will. Or if you really run into a struggle, reach out in Discord and ask the questions because we'll be happy to help you. So if any of you do want to have that tracker form for your Facebook groups that you're going to join, now would be a great time to throw your email into the chat box, and I will make sure and get that over to you. I'm going to stop the recording real quick.